Donald Trump's rise to power was fueled by a deep sense of grievance among a significant segment of the American population. These individuals, often referred to as the forgotten men and women of America, felt left behind by globalization, economic hardship, and a political system they perceived as unresponsive to their needs. Trump, with his outsider status and his promise to make America great again, emerged as a champion for these forgotten Americans. He spoke directly to their anxieties, promising to bring back jobs, restore American manufacturing, and put America first in all his policies. This message resonated deeply with those who felt ignored by the political establishment, both Democrats and Republicans. They saw in Trump a leader who understood their struggles and who was willing to fight for them. His image as a successful businessman further fueled this perception, leading many to believe that he possessed the skills and the determination to fix the problems that plagued the nation. This belief in Trump's ability to deliver on his promises was a key factor in his electoral success. One of the defining characteristics of Donald Trump's political brand is his unwavering opposition to the political establishment. He has consistently positioned himself as an outsider, a disruptor who is not beholden to special interests or to the traditional norms of political behavior. This anti-establishment stance has been a major source of Trump's appeal, particularly among those who have grown disillusioned with the political process. They see in Trump a leader who is willing to challenge the status quo, to speak truth to power, and to fight for the interests of ordinary Americans. Trump's attacks on the media, on career politicians, and on what he calls the deep state have resonated with this segment of the electorate. They view these institutions as corrupt, out of touch, and more interested in protecting their own power than in serving the needs of the American people. Trump's willingness to break with political correctness and to challenge conventional wisdom has further endeared him to his base. They see his blunt rhetoric and his unconventional approach as signs of authenticity, as evidence that he is not afraid to speak his mind or to take on powerful interests. Donald Trump's communication style is as unconventional as his approach to politics. He is known for his off-the-cuff remarks, his use of social media to bypass traditional media outlets, and his willingness to engage in personal attacks against his opponents. This unfiltered style of communication has been both praised and criticized. His supporters often view it as a refreshing change from the carefully scripted and often guarded language of most politicians. They appreciate his directness, his humor, and his willingness to say what he thinks, even if it is controversial. Critics, however, argue that Trump's rhetoric is often divisive, inflammatory, and lacking in substance. They point to his use of name-calling, his tendency to spread misinformation, and his attacks on the free press as evidence of his unfitness for office. Despite the controversy, there is no doubt that Trump's communication style has been effective in connecting with his base. His use of simple language, his appeals to emotion, and his repetition of key phrases have helped him to create a powerful narrative that resonates with his supporters. Section 4. Taking on the elites, Trump versus the media and institutions. Throughout his political career, Donald Trump has been engaged in a constant battle with what he perceives as the elites, the media, the academic establishment, Hollywood, and the political class. He has accused these institutions of bias, corruption, and of being out of touch with the concerns of ordinary Americans. This narrative of us versus them has been a recurring theme in Trump's rhetoric. He presents himself as the champion of the people, fighting against a powerful and entrenched elite that is determined to maintain its grip on power. His attacks on the media in particular have been relentless. He has labeled them the enemy of the people, accused them of spreading fake news, and sought to undermine public trust in journalism. This confrontational approach has resonated with his supporters, many of whom share his distrust of these institutions. They see Trump's willingness to take on the elites as a sign of strength, as evidence that he is not afraid to challenge the status quo. Section 5. A Divided Legacy. Trump's impact on American society. Donald Trump's presidency has left an indelible mark on American society, deepening existing divisions and sparking intense debates about the nature of truth, the role of the media, and the future of American democracy. His supporters view him as a transformative figure, a courageous leader who challenged the status quo and fought for the interests of the forgotten men and women of America. They point to his economic policies, his appointment of conservative judges, and his strong stance on immigration as evidence of his success. They admire his willingness to speak his mind, his defiance of political correctness, and his unwavering commitment to his beliefs. His detractors, however, view his presidency as a dark chapter in American history. They accuse him of fueling division and hatred, of undermining democratic norms, and of damaging America's standing in the world. They point to his rhetoric, his policies, and his personal behavior as evidence of his unfitness for office. They worry about the long-term consequences of his presidency, particularly the erosion of trust in institutions and the normalization of extremist views. Section 6. Beyond the Labels. Understanding the Trump Phenomenon. Understanding the Donald Trump phenomenon requires looking beyond the simplistic labels of hero or villain that are often used to define him. Trump's rise to power is a complex phenomenon rooted in a confluence of factors: economic anxiety, cultural resentment, political polarization, and a changing media landscape. His appeal lies in his ability to tap into these underlying currents, to give voice to the grievances of those who feel unheard and unrepresented by the political establishment. His supporters see in him a fighter, a disruptor, and a champion for their values. His detractors see him as a demagogue, a threat to democracy, and a danger to the fabric of American society. The intensity of these opposing views reflects the deep divisions that exist within American society. Divisions that predate Trump's presidency and are likely to persist long after he has left the political stage. Ultimately, understanding the Trump phenomenon requires engaging in a nuanced and honest conversation about the challenges facing America: economic inequality, racial injustice, political polarization, and the erosion of trust in institutions. Only by addressing these underlying issues can America hope to heal its divisions and move forward as a united nation.